Hi girls, it's Kishi again. Just doing a quick update. I'm 7 DPO and I'm having a little bit of cramping in the ovaries, probably some cysts from good old Clomid, but I am having frequent urination as well though. And I just wanted to let you ladies know what type of supplements and what strategies I've been using, and want to know if there's anything else I should be adding into the mix. And or if any of you ladies have had success with what I'm taking right now. I'm on a prenatal vitamin with DHA in it, and I'm taking a fish oil supplement. I'm on 500 milligrams of metformin, a baby aspirin, one baby aspirin a day, and I'm taking I'm using pre-seed and instead cups. I'm doing a fertility massage pre-ovulation. So I've watched YouTube videos and kind of shows to get the blood flow right in your pelvic area. So if you have any like blockages or maybe scar tissue or something, it's supposed to help like loosen it up, I guess. I don't know. The first month I've ever tried doing that, I also took Vitex. I did the tinctures of Vitex, of the liquid. It doesn't taste very good at all. But if you put like about that much water in a cup, and then put a couple, however many drops you're supposed to do. I think I did like 50 drops or 52 drops, whatever it said on it. And drink it like a shot almost, and then chase it with something else. I did like decaf green tea after to kind of give a different taste. Basically cancel one bitter taste with another bitter taste from the tea. But anyways, green tea is another thing I've been doing too to help with CM. And so anyways, back to, told you I'm a tree brancher. So the last time that I got pregnant, I did the Vitex and I did the fertility massage. I was on the prenatal, the fish oil, the baby aspirin. And I was exercising almost every day, doing cardio, probably about 20-30 minutes of cardio at least a day. And I was lifting weights for my arms and my legs every other day. And when I did get pregnant, though, I slowed down on the weights and I decreased the intensity of my cardio as well. And it's really weird feeling. When I was pregnant, I had like little pinches in my uterus, and that happened. I know I was taking progesterone suppositories, so I know progesterone can give you wacky symptoms and stuff too, but it was like weird pinching, but it wasn't just implantation time. It was like throughout the whole time I was pregnant. And I felt like when I would move more, I would feel it more. Or when I would drink more liquid, I would feel it more. And it was kind of like addicting to I wanted to walk a lot because I wanted to feel it, because I wanted to know that it was still in there, I don't know how many of you have felt this before that have been pregnant. But, yeah, I'm handling it as best I can. The only thing that keeps me going is thinking maybe this month I'll get pregnant, maybe this month, and then you think about like, okay, so if I got pregnant and my last period was, let's say the 20-something of August, and I like try to calculate, okay, how pregnant will I be for Thanksgiving when my brother comes to visit with his wife, will they be able to tell I'm pregnant? Will it be in my second trimester yet? How far will I be? Will I have a heartbeat? Will I have all these things under my belt, before I start telling my family again? Because the feeling of telling everybody that you're pregnant, I didn't tell everybody, but I told immediate family. I told my mom and my stepdad, and my fiance's sister, she knew, and his brother knew. And and my best friend, of course, she knew. But I think it's hard. As much as you want to tell everyone, you want to tell the world, I definitely, next time I get pregnant, I'm not going to be telling people, even the closest people I just named. I'm not going to be telling them, at least try not to tell them, until at least 8 to 10 weeks when I know there's a heartbeat, I know things are going well. I'll tell them again. But the letdown feeling of letting them know that you know, I was miscarrying and that I was losing the baby, it makes you feel really weird, like, because they don't know what to say besides I'm sorry, but none of them have ever experienced it, so they don't know what it feels like. They've never gone through it. So I could see how it would be awkward for them. It was awkward for me because, I mean, what can they do? They can't do anything to stop it, you know. I think my fiance has a hard time, you know, talking about it and stuff. He just kind of avoids it because it makes him upset as well. And I mean, this is the third time for us, so I know on this last pregnancy, my first pregnancy I was about 5 weeks. Second pregnancy was about 6 weeks, and I saw the little sac on an ultrasound. So I mean, I didn't get to see a heartbeat or anything like that. It was too early. But this last pregnancy, I had quite a few ultrasounds, and I got to see it progress. And every time I'd be like, I want to get excited and be like, oh, but you know, you're not in the clear yet. But I made it farther than I have before, so it was like as soon as I got that feeling of like, oh, maybe this is gonna work out, maybe this is it, things are looking good. It was like, seriously, within that week is when I started getting spotting. It was, I know it's TMI, but a lot of you probably want to know too, because in case you have experienced this, or, you know, in case you do experience this, you can give yourself, you know, the heads up that it could be a bad sign. But I know a lot of women have spotting in pregnancy, and it's totally normal, and that doesn't mean anything wrong either. So I guess it's kind of like it could be 50-50. It could be something bad. It could just be low progesterone or something that you're able to supplement with. So as long as you stay close with your doctor and let them know, even if you think it's the smallest thing, who cares if they think you're crazy? It's your body. So call them about everything. Call them if you are spotting. You know, if you don't feel right, just let them know. Let them put you at ease so that you're not going through this alone. I mean, they went to school for this. That's their job. They should want to help you. But see, I lost myself. See, I should have wrote notes. I'm telling you. All right, focus, Kishi. ADD. Come on, focus. So anyways, back to the third time that I was pregnant. People keep driving by and they're probably wondering why I'm talking to myself, but who cares. Third pregnancy, okay, so I had the spotting, and then the next day I just couldn't take it. It was on a Saturday early in the morning. I woke up to go to the bathroom, and when I wiped, there was like brown spotting, and it wasn't blood. There wasn't redness, you know, any red color to it. But I was like, ugh. I know that my mom spotted when she was pregnant up until about 3 months pregnant with me. So it was like every time her AF was about to show or should show, like cycle-wise, when she was pregnant, that's when she would get the spotting. So I don't know what causes that, but so I was like, maybe that's what it is. But something told me something wasn't right. And so the following day on a Sunday, my doctor's office wasn't open, and so I just had to do it. I went to the emergency room, and they did an ultrasound. And the tech that did the ultrasound, she told me from the very beginning that she can't tell me anything about the ultrasound, that I have to wait until the ER doctor reviews it, and then he can consult with me and tell me what's going on. And I remember her doing the ultrasound, and I'm like peeking over, and she knew I was peeking over, but she just can't tell me what's going on. But I could see her put the thing over so that she can get the heart rate, and I couldn't see, like, I saw waves, but I wasn't sure if I saw waves, and I was like, oh God, there's no heartbeat anymore. Oh God. And so she didn't say anything, and then when she was wheeling me back to the ER room, she was like, how old are you? And I told her I was 26, and she's like, well, how old is your fiance? And I was like, 35. And she's like, oh, you guys are young. You have plenty of time. So now I'm like, oh, great. So she's saying all of this, but maybe she's trying to hint to me that things don't look good. And, of course, at the ER result, they did blood work as well. But it takes forever for it to get done. It takes them a few hours by the time they do everything. So I'm like waiting in this room, like having the worst anxiety, not knowing what's going on. And I wish the lady would just would have told me. I wouldn't have told anyone that she told me. I just wanted to know that stress of not knowing for like 2 to 3 hours I was waiting. It was definitely the hardest thing. And like and you're telling yourself like, okay, if things aren't good, you know, I can handle this, I can get through this, I've done this before, I know this is farther along, but I can handle it. Well, it's going to happen someday. And I'm like, I'm trying to tell myself that, and then other part of me is saying, oh, it's totally normal, like, I'm just spotting, and everything's fine. And, that's why, I don't know. I didn't know what to think, but I was trying to convince myself that everything's going to be okay either way. If it wasn't going to work out, we'll get back on the saddle, I guess the saying is, as soon as I'm allowed to, I just want to try. I want to keep trying, because that's the only thing that got me through any of them, was knowing that maybe next month, or maybe the month after that, like, it's going to be the month. It's going to be successful. Something was wrong, and there's a reason for everything, and I had to keep trying to tell myself that, and trying to believe it. But, so finally the doctor comes in and he tells me that there is a heartbeat, and I'm like, oh, thank God, there's a heartbeat. But then he told me it was like a 42. And I'm like, wait, I know that can't be good, because, I know that can't be good, because everybody has Google, they go online, you look what normal ranges are. And I was like, no, I knew it had to be over 120, I think, at that point, maybe even over at least 120. And so I was like, that does not look good. I didn't even know that was possible, to have a 42 heart rate for, a baby. But, so I'm like, that, obviously that's not going to be good news. But part of me was relieved, the fact, because that was the first time I did get to see the heartbeat. I was relieved that at least I knew that I made it that far. It wasn't a good heartbeat, and obviously there was something wrong. But at least I knew I made it to that point. I made it to a heartbeat. It wasn't a good one, but I made it to that far. So I'm hoping that, next time I get pregnant, it will be successful pregnancy. Every time I have made it a little bit farther. I know with the first pregnancy, my progesterone levels were pretty low, so ever since then, I was supplementing with lots of progesterone, a prescription the doctor gave me. And, I hate suppositories, but you know what? If it means having a baby and having a healthy baby and maintaining the pregnancy, you'll do anything. If they said stand in your head for 2 hours a day, I'd do it, I think a lot of you would probably do it too. But, so I went 2 days later to my doctor's office. I already had a scheduled ultrasound. It was a viability ultrasound that they had, already planned. And I took my best friend with me, because I knew there was a good chance that it wasn't going to be good news. I'm like, what's the reality of a 42 heart rate picking up to over 120 by then? I'm like, it's not good, And so, of course, like I thought, when I went with my best friend, there was no longer a heartbeat. And I knew the tech girl was trying, she didn't know how to tell me, and I just told her straight up, look, I have an idea. I just had an ultrasound 2 days ago, and the heart rate was only 42, and I have a good idea that it's probably not good news. And she's like, okay, yeah. And she told me, she's like, I'm sorry. She's like, but there is no heartbeat anymore. And I was like, I couldn't even cry. I was just like, why does this keep happening? Like, what did I do that was so wrong? Like, I don't want to cry. But what did I do that was so wrong that it won't just work out? Sorry. I don't want to make any of you girls cry either, because I know when I watch your videos and you cry, I cry. What a hot mess. But, okay. So, I held it together. It was really strong, and then I went downstairs, and the receptionist girl that works downstairs at the OB's office, I was fine until I told her that she asked me, "Oh, how's everything going?" All bubbly and excited and everything, and then it just hit me. I just started bawling. So she came around and like gave me this big hug, and she was like, "I'm so sorry, you know, we'll get you there. I'm so sorry." And I try to be as strong as I can, and you know, you can only handle so much. And I know there's nothing that I did. There's nothing that I could have done. But I was very determined. I wanted to know why. I'm like, this is enough already. You know, I'm taking progesterone. I stopped working out as much. You know, I was eating healthy. I was drinking lots of fluids. I was taking all my vitamins and supplements and everything. Or the fish oil, baby aspirin, and the prenatal. And at the time I wasn't taking metformin. And so I met with a doctor, or met with a nurse practitioner, and I explained to her I want to know why. I want, you know, when I miscarry, because I believe they call it a miscarriage at that point. So I physically didn't miscarry yet, but, you know, the baby was no longer, you know, viable. And so they gave me medication, or she gave me choices. It was a DNC, or to take medication that will help me basically contract and miscarry that on my own at home. And I was terrified to do the DNC because I was so afraid that what if they messed up, or what if they cause scar tissue? What if I already have scar tissue and then they add more to it? I don't want to, you know, decrease my chances even more, or increase my chances for more problems when I do become pregnant again. So I chose the medication route, and that was horrible, the fact that it was a waiting game. I took the medication, and it took like 6 days for it to happen, but it was like every day, like I kept checking, like, is it, you know, is it happening? Is it happening? And then, believe me, now that I know, you'll know when it's going to happen, because it was literally like contractions. It was like once every hour, I would get these severe, severe cramps, and then it would just go away. And then, you know, it would last probably for about 20 seconds to 30 seconds, and then it would just go away. And then it started getting closer. It was like every 45 minutes, and then every 30 minutes, and then like every 15 minutes, and then it was like every 5 minutes. And this happened over probably 8 to 10 hour time frame. And finally, when it was every 5 minutes, you know, like, I would go to the bathroom, and I would, you know, I would check, and I was just like, I just wanted it to happen already. I was in pain, and I just wanted it to be over with already. And I remember watching on videos on YouTube about home births, and I remember seeing midwives do some kind of push, like on the uterus area, to try to get the placenta out and to get all the rest of the tissues out. So I'm like sitting on the toilet, and I'm like trying to push, like trying to get it out. And by the way, I was using clear saran wrap to try to catch, you know, they call it the products of conception, so that I can have it tested, because I really wanted to know why. Was it a genetic problem? If it is, what kind of genetic problem? Is it something that, you know, my fiance's, you know, swimmers aren't good because he's a carrier? Or am I a carrier of something? You know, is it something that's, you know, was it meant to be a miscarriage because there was such a bad genetic problem that if a child survives, you know, through the pregnancy, you know, was it going to survive a normal life, you know, or is it going to be so debilitated and the quality and, you know, just be horrible? And so I did. That was hard, but, you know, it was about the size of a golf ball, and it was like a little sack, and it had, you could tell it had like amniotic fluid in it. Thank goodness I could not see the shape of a fetus, or I could not see any of that. There was another another little, like, I don't know a better word, another little ball, like, attached to the sac that clearly was, like, the placenta, because I could see through it, and it was, like, a white ball inside of it with, like, lots of veins, like, all in it, like, you know, little teeny veins all over in it. And, so anyways, I brought that to the doctors immediately the next morning, and they tested it, and in fact, there was a genetic problem. It wasn't an inherited type of genetic, it was just one of those bad luck, supposedly, you know, or maybe it was just in every so many eggs or every so many sperm, there's a genetic problem, but it doesn't mean that all of them are going to have it. And I met with a genetic counselor, too, about it, and so now, I guess, you know, I'm in a new month. It's been 4 months now. I think it's been 4 months, and I'm ready. You know, I'm on my second round of Clomid, and I'm hoping that I've been on metformin for 3 months now, so I'm hoping that it's in my system so I can get good quality eggs, and hopefully we'll do it. You know, I'm just like all of you. I want a baby so bad, and I'm hoping that this will be our month. So please subscribe, ladies. I'll keep making videos if I have some subscribers. I know people are actually watching it. It's I'm still like nervous doing this, and I know I'm rambling a little bit, so I'm sorry. But this is, you know, this is me. This is my story. This is, you know, I'm trying to get support from you. I'm trying to hear more experiences, you know, from other women, so that I know that they've gone through the same thing and how do they handle it.